Hi everyone, it's MikaHell, and in this tutorial I will show you how to do a anti-spin with a dragon staff. So in this tutorial I will present you, for the one who don't know already, what is an anti-spin, how to do an anti-spin. We can work with a lot of different props. It's mainly known for props when you have two of them, because you can draw petals and a lot of things, and it's basically starting to play with the geometry in space around. And with dragon staff is really interesting because most of the time people do dragon staff and get into their feeling and try to follow the dragon. There we are drawing shapes, like we are also starting to explore the grid and everything, and also work more with vertical, which will be the next direction we go with dragon staff now in the tutorials. Because all the horizontal plane at some point get boring, you master it, and the vertical plane is way more challenging. So I have a bunch of tutorials coming regarding that topic, and today we're gonna start with the anti-spin. So let's start with the first section, which is what is anti-spin. So I probably will not explain it as good as a power player will do, but when we play with anti-spin, we're gonna play what we call the diamond shape, which means there's 4 points in front of us. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can see it's the shape of a diamond. If I have time, I will even do you a picture, but I think you can picture it. 1, 2, 3, 4. And to understand and use this grid, we need to also try to draw the shape of it with the staff. And here, with the anti-spin, it's gonna look like this. So I will start, for example, here on my left. So I'm on the first point there. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see, like each time we go and we touch one of the points of this diamond in front of us. I call it a diamond and not a square because it's just pointing up, okay? So this will be the anti-spin we'll be working on, and it's an anti-spin on the wall plane, okay, to be a bit more precise. And if you can see, this head here is just traveling on the horizontal plane. You see, like this one is just going from left to right. It's just doing this trajectory, going from the point number 1 to number 3. 1, 3, 1, 3. It doesn't go anything else. So if you just focus on this, you can see step by step what the road needs to do. Now, if you focus on the second head on the other hand is on a vertical axis, and just go from down to up, down to up. So that's a bit tricky at the beginning, but this is what we're gonna work on today together. So, as you can see here, like I'm not even considering rolling. We are just working with the dragon staff as an object we're gonna manipulate. Then we're gonna see how we add the roll in there. So here I want you to take your staff, and as you can see, like right now, I'm not here in the center, but my head is pointing on the side there, and this head is way closer to me, because this head is the one who's gonna be on the vertical axis here. And so instead of being like this, if I do that, I will start the anti-spin, but I will be off center. So I want to be here, and what I will do first, and I will simply go down. Here I'm just like dropping this head down. So you see now this head is in front. Now I will lift this head up, up, coming back. So for the moment I'm just holding the staff and doing this. And you can do an exercise for the brain. At the beginning, try to only focus on one head doing the horizontal axis, and then you work on focusing only on the vertical axis. And you will see that like you can focus either on one or the other, but it's not necessary to focus on both. You will end up with the same result. If you keep one in the correct axis, the other will be correct as well. Now, if we want to go closer to use the roll, what I do is like I put my hand like this, like if I was ready to do like a same kind of chi roll, and I will simply drop my right hand here. And you see, by doing this, there's an off balance, and so the staff go already down. what I will do with my left hand is I will push to my right side. So it looks like this. You see? I let the gravity do the work for this head, and for the left head, I'm pushing to the side, and I end up on that position. And this can be one of the first drill, is just to go from one side to the other. And this is actually a really good transition for chirurgs as well. Boom. We just worked on the down part. And you see like you really have like almost like a spring effect, because one is down and when the other is down, I'm pushing the other on the other side. Now obviously you see now I'm on the other side, and when we need to do the opposite, and here the gravity is not with us. So what I'll do is like I will focus on my left hand, so the one for the vertical axis, and just lift up. And by lifting up, because we are off center, you see this dragon is doing, the other side is sliding from one side to the other by itself, because there's a pendulum effect. And magic, I'm back in that position. So this is the other transition we're gonna see together. So now to be clear, your task is to work first separately on both, still without roll, so the down part, and of course both direction, just to get used to the effect. And then working on the upper part. And remember that the upper part, this is the left hand, the inside hand is going up. And you see like I'm switching my hand in order to be able to rebalance and to come back into 2 points of contact. And then we combine them together. And it's really important to break it down. It will allow you to be clean afterwards. Boom. Just realized that I start to say a lot boom at the moment. Apparently, I like it. So now let's get into how we make it roll and how we enter that movement. So I will not go too complicated, to be honest. Here, to start it with the roll, I come from like a simple outward same time chiroll. It's really useful here because like this the staff is flat, and what I'm doing when I'm here, I'm gonna shift my hands to the side like if I want to do the flat isolation chiroll, and when I'm here down, I'm dropping my hands and pushing with my other. So here what's happening, so you can see with what's happening with my left hand, here it's dropping and I'm pushing to the other side. And the push, I do it in a way that I'm not losing the roll as well. And you can do it with like the back of the hand or the palm, it doesn't matter. It's just on what you're more comfortable with. I have tendency to be first on the back of my hand, then use the flat with the palm to push it away. And so like I'm just working on this. This is the first thing you can work on, is to use the anti-spin as a transition for your chiroll. You see now I'm in my inward chiroll, and here when I'm again straight, I push to work on the upper part. So like this you don't get overwhelmed by both. You can work on them separately. Here it's a bit tricky for the inward. So what I'm doing is like when it's inward, when it's here, I don't wait too long, but when it's on the tip of my finger here and start to roll after I did a bit, I directly go back in the position, because this is a place where you will lose momentum otherwise. And allow yourself that even if it's not clean, that's alright. So here this hand push, and here I'm gonna use So here I just stopped the previous part of the video because I realized that here you have two options. Well, now we are in the inward chiroll. You can either keep the roll with your left hand, the inside hand going like we saw before, but I also had a tendency when I'm here in the inward, to push with my right hand here towards the inside. So I'm doing still the same thing, but I'm just using the other hand. And you see I have tendency to use, to open, like almost if I wanted to do like an arm roll. And I'll learn it like this because also this is what allows you to do it with one hand later. This is why I did this habit, but both are correct, so I show you both variations, either with the inner hand, like this, or with the inside. You see it's rolling in, and I'm doing this motion to the side to place it on the other side. So that's your drill. And it's important now that you see that we are more often into having only one point of contact and not two, so it's a bit more tricky, but if you break it down like I showed you before, this will work out. And this is it for this tutorial. This is the first time I teach anti-spin and this kind of vertical concept. So if not everything was clear, please let me know in the comment below. I'm super happy to have any precision on point were not clear enough, or like anything, every question you have that will improve my teaching for sure. And see you in the next one.